Hi, Larry Titus. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Rather than teaching you any more about how to make disciples, I want to introduce you to somebody today that is, in my opinion, is the greatest demonstrator of how to make disciples I know. His name is Chris Baer, and he lives in this Dallas-Fort Worth area where we live and our offices are. Chris is so outstanding. Just to be around him, your life is going to be changed. So he is the greatest example I know of, and I want you to hear directly from Chris Baer what it means. How do I make disciples? So here you go, Chris. You're on, buddy, and I love you.
In Matthew chapter 28, Jesus commissions the disciples to go and make disciples. And that word go, it really means as you are going, as you're doing life, make disciples. And so I've kind of taken that upon myself as a mantra to go and make disciples as I'm doing life to make disciples. And I love playing basketball. And so when I go to play basketball every week, it's more than just playing a game. It's loving the guys that I'm playing with, reaching out to them, finding out what their needs are, and really helping them and becoming a friend to them. And so a few years ago, I ran into an acquaintance friend of mine, and he was reaching out to me. And so I over the last 2 years, I've taken him under my wings and I've discipled him. I've done life with him. And he's come out of a very difficult place, and now he's living for the Lord. And a few months ago, he sent me a text and just said, you know, dude, 2 years ago, you reached out to me and became a friend to me and showed me what it means to love Christ and to live for Him. And I just want to thank you because you've made such a difference in my life. And over the last few years, God's really laid on my heart a burden to reach out to the men of the world. And so the way He showed me to start is use my home. And so every week I've been opening up my home to a group of men and discipling them. And so I prayed about it, and I said, Lord, who do you want me to reach out to and invite into my home? And He started laying certain men on my heart. And some men I didn't know very well, some I knew pretty good, and so I started inviting them to come to my house, and they all said yes. And so over the last year, I've been mentoring them through the book, The Teleios Man. And it was so cool because you've seen lives change, marriages come together, baptizing, just doing life with these guys. And as we got to the end of the discipleship time, the guys looked at me and said, you know, Chris, we don't want to quit. We want to continue. We're just getting started. And I said, you know what? Let's do it. And I said, but this time, instead of me leading you guys, we're going to invite some other guys to come, and I want you guys to lead them. And so over the last year, what we've been doing is we meet at my house at 6:30 at night. We eat dinner together, and then we gather for a time of encouraging each other in the Word as we work through the book, The Teleios Man. And it's so cool to see these guys reaching out to other men and discipling them. In fact, one of my buddies who I met playing basketball about 5 months ago, he said, Chris, this thing you're doing, discipling men, man, you're awesome at it, but there's no way I can do it. And so don't count me in on ever leading a group. And I said, dude, it's okay. Do what God's calling you to do. And so I ran into him at the gym about a month ago, and we were playing basketball together. And of course, we meet every week at my house, but we were playing basketball. And he said, Chris, I'm starting to do it. I'm starting to reach out to different guys, and he goes, I can't help it. He said, it's just organic. And I kind of laughed, and I said, dude, a few months ago you said this very thing you can't do, but yet here you are doing it. He said, I know, it just comes natural. And that's what making disciples is all about. When you give to somebody and pour into their lives, them continuing that process and helping someone else. I kind of liken it to someone drowning in the river. You reach out a stick, you go and help them. And as you've helped them, as they're standing there and they see someone else that's about to drown, they reach out a stick and help them. It's just a natural process. In Romans chapter 13, verse 8, the scriptures tell us to let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another. We owe everyone love. Everyone I come in contact with, I owe love. And so that's the call that God's placed on my heart. No matter where I go, I'm going to go with the intention of loving them, reaching out to them, and making disciples.